Welcome to the Do You Speak English series on Whispered Hub. In this series, we'll explore practical tips and engaging lessons to help you improve your English speaking skills. Join us to boost your confidence and fluency in everyday conversations. Hi, this is Rena, your English teacher from Whispered Hub. Before we start the video, I want to know why you are learning English so that we can make a strong community. Here are some options. A, to travel. B, to have better job opportunities. C, to communicate with the world. D, to access information. E, any other reason. Please write your reason in the comments below. Let's begin the story. Part 3, Discovering New Experiences. On Monday morning, I woke up feeling excited. Today was the day I would start my new hobby, exploring the city. I wanted to discover all the interesting places New York had to offer. After my morning class, I planned to visit a famous museum. I had heard a lot about the Metropolitan Museum of Art and couldn't wait to see it. At school, Ms. Parker started the lesson with a fun activity. She asked us to share our weekend experiences. My classmates talked about the different things they did. Ahmed went to a baseball game. Hiroshi visited a botanical garden, and Elizabeth tried cooking a new recipe. When it was my turn, I told everyone about the music festival Anna and I went to in Central Park. They all listened with interest and asked questions about the festival. "How was the music?" Hiroshi asked. "It was amazing," I replied. "There were so many different bands and the atmosphere was fantastic." After sharing our experiences, Ms. Parker taught us some new vocabulary related to museums and art. We learned words like exhibit, gallery, sculpture, and masterpiece. She showed us pictures of famous artworks and explained their meanings. It was fascinating to learn about art in English. Once the lesson ended, I hurried to the cafe for a quick lunch. Anna was already there, working her shift. I ordered a sandwich and a cup of coffee. While I ate, I chatted with Anna about my plan to visit the museum. "That sounds amazing, Laura," Anna said with a smile. "I've heard the Metropolitan Museum of Art is incredible. Take lots of pictures and tell me all about it later." "I will, Anna. Thanks," I replied. I'm really excited to see the art and learn more about it. After finishing my lunch, I took the subway to the museum. The city was bustling with people, and I felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. When I arrived at the museum, I was amazed by the size of the building. It was huge and very impressive. Inside the museum, I got a map to help me navigate through the galleries. The first exhibit I visited was the Egyptian art section. There were ancient artifacts, statues, and even a mummy. I took my time reading the descriptions and learning about the history. It was fascinating to see how people lived thousands of years ago. Next, I visited the European Paintings Gallery. I saw works by famous artists like Van Gogh, Rembrandt, and Monet. The paintings were beautiful and full of detail. I stood in front of Van Gogh's Starry Night for a long time, admiring the swirling colors and patterns. It was one of my favorite paintings. As I walked through the museum, I practiced reading the descriptions in English. It was a great way to learn new words and phrases. I also listened to the audio guide, which explained the artworks in detail. It felt like a personal tour, and I learned so much. While I was looking at a sculpture, a friendly woman approached me. She was also admiring the art. We started talking, and I learned that her name was Emma. She was an art student from New York University. "Hi, I'm Emma," she said with a smile. "Isn't this sculpture amazing? It's by Auguste Rodin, one of my favorite sculptors." "Hi, Emma. I'm Laura," I replied. "Yes, it's incredible. I'm really enjoying the museum. It's my first time here." "Welcome to the Met, Laura. There's so much to see here. Have you visited the Impressionist Gallery yet?" Emma asked. "Not yet, but I'm planning to." "Do you have any recommendations?" I asked. "Definitely. The Impressionist Gallery is one of the best. You should also check out the American Wing. They have some beautiful pieces there," Emma suggested. "Thanks, Emma. I'll definitely check them out. It was nice meeting you," I said. "Nice meeting you too, Laura. Enjoy your visit," Emma replied. After saying goodbye to Emma, I headed to the Impressionist Gallery. It was filled with colorful paintings that captured moments of everyday life. I saw works by Monet, Degas, and Renoir. The paintings were lively and full of light. I especially loved Monet's water lilies. The colors were so vibrant, and it felt like I was looking at a real pond. Next, I visited the American Wing. It had a mix of paintings, sculptures, and decorative arts. I saw a famous painting called "Washington Crossing the Delaware." It depicted George Washington leading his troops during the American Revolutionary War. The painting was large and powerful, and I could feel the emotion and determination of the soldiers. After spending several hours at the museum, I decided to take a break. I went to the museum cafe and ordered a cup of tea and a slice of cake. While I enjoyed my snack, I reflected on everything I had seen. The museum was full of incredible art and history, and I felt grateful for the opportunity to learn and explore. When I finished my tea, I visited the gift shop. I wanted to buy a souvenir to remember my visit. I found a beautiful postcard of Van Gogh's Starry Night and a small book about the museum's highlights. I also bought a keychain with a tiny replica of the museum building. These items would remind me of my wonderful day at the Met. In the evening, I returned home and shared my experience with Anna. I showed her the pictures I took and the souvenirs I bought. She was excited and asked me many questions about the museum. "Wow, Laura, it sounds like you had an amazing day," Anna said. "I definitely want to visit the museum too. Maybe we can go together next time." "That would be great, Anna. I think you'll love it. There's so much to see and learn," I replied. The next day at school, Ms. Parker asked us to write a short essay about our favorite experience in New York so far. I decided to write about my visit to the museum. I described the different galleries, the artworks I saw, and my conversation with Emma. Writing the essay helped me practice my English and organize my thoughts. After we finished writing, we shared our essays with the class. I enjoyed listening to my classmates' stories. Each person had a unique experience, and it was interesting to hear about their adventures. Ahmed talked about the baseball game. Hiroshi shared his visit to the botanical garden, and Elizabeth described her cooking experience. Ms. Parker gave us feedback on our essays and helped us improve our writing. She pointed out some grammar mistakes and suggested better ways to express our ideas. I appreciated her guidance and felt that my writing was getting better. In the afternoon, we had a listening activity. Ms. Parker played a recording of a radio interview with a famous artist. We had to listen carefully and answer questions about the interview. This exercise helped me improve my listening skills and learn more about art. After school, I went to the cafe for my shift. It was a busy day, but I felt more confident in my tasks. I took orders, made drinks, and talked to customers. I also practiced using the new vocabulary I had learned in class. Each day at the cafe was a chance to practice and improve my English. One of the regular customers, Mrs. Collins, came in for her usual cappuccino. She was a kind and elegant lady who always had a smile on her face. I enjoyed talking to her and learning about her life. "Hello, Laura. How are you today?" Mrs. Collins asked. "Hi, Mrs. Collins. I'm doing well, thank you." "How about you?" I replied. "I'm good, thank you." "How is your English learning going?" she asked. "It's going well. I visited the Metropolitan Museum of Art yesterday and learned a lot," I said. "That's wonderful. The Met is one of my favorite places in the city." "Did you see the Impressionist gallery?" Mrs. Collins asked. "Yes, I did. It was amazing. I loved Monet's paintings," I replied. "Monet is wonderful. I'm glad you enjoyed your visit." "Keep practicing your English, Laura. You're doing great," she said with a smile. "Thank you, Mrs. Collins. I will," I replied. In the evening, Anna and I decided to try cooking a new dish. We chose to make an Italian pasta recipe that Anna had found online. We went to the grocery store to buy the ingredients and then returned home to start cooking. The recipe was simple, but it was a fun and relaxing activity. We practiced our English by reading the recipe instructions and talking about the steps. While we cooked, we talked about our day. Anna shared her experience at the cafe, and I told her about the new vocabulary I had learned at school. We also talked about our plans for the weekend. Anna suggested visiting a flea market she had heard about, and I agreed. It sounded like a fun and interesting place to explore. "I've always wanted to visit a flea market," I said. "I've heard you can find some really unique things there." "Exactly. And it's a great way to spend the weekend," Anna replied. The pasta turned out delicious, and we enjoyed our dinner together. Afterward, we watched an English movie called The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. It was a heartwarming and adventurous film, and we both enjoyed it. Watching movies in English helped us improve our listening skills and learn new expressions. On Friday, Ms. Parker gave us a special assignment. We had to prepare a presentation about a famous person from our home country. I decided to talk about Pablo Picasso, one of the most famous Spanish artists. I spent the evening researching and preparing my presentation. I found interesting facts about his life and his contribution to art. I also selected some of his famous paintings to show to the class. As I worked on my presentation, I felt a sense of pride in my culture and heritage. It was a wonderful opportunity to share a piece of my home country with my classmates. I was excited to present and hoped that they would enjoy learning about Picasso. When I went to bed that night, I felt content and accomplished. I'd learned so much in the past few days and had many wonderful experiences. My journey in New York was full of discoveries and new challenges, but I was determined to make the most of it. I knew that with hard work and perseverance, I could achieve my goals and dreams. The next part of my adventure was waiting, and I was ready to embrace it with an open heart and a curious mind. Part 4. The Joy of Learning and New Friendships. Saturday arrived with bright sunshine, promising a beautiful day ahead. Anna and I had decided to visit the flea market she mentioned earlier. We were both excited about the potential treasures we might find and the new experiences awaiting us. At breakfast, we discussed our plan for the day. "I'm really looking forward to the flea market," Anna said, as she poured herself a cup of coffee. "I heard they have everything from vintage clothes to handmade crafts." "Me too," I replied, spreading butter on my toast. "It's going to be fun exploring and maybe finding some unique items. Plus, it's a great way to practice our English." After breakfast, we got ready and headed to the subway. The flea market was located in a different part of the city that we hadn't visited before. The ride was a bit long, but we chatted about various things, making the time pass quickly. When we arrived, the market was bustling with activity. Stalls lined the streets, each one displaying a variety of goods. There were clothes, jewelry, books, antiques, and much more. The air was filled with the sounds of people bargaining and the smells of different foods cooking. "Wow, this place is amazing," I said, looking around in awe. "Where should we start?" "Let's just wander around and see what catches our eye," Anna suggested. "We can split up and meet back here in an hour if you want." "Good idea," I agreed. "I'll see you in an hour then." I began strolling through the market, stopping at different stalls to look at the items on display. At one stall, I found a beautiful necklace with a small, intricate pendant. The vendor, an elderly woman with a warm smile, noticed my interest. "Hello, dear," she said. "Isn't this necklace lovely? It's handmade, and the pendant is carved from a special kind of stone." "It's beautiful," I replied. "How much is it?" "It's $20, she said. "But for you, I'll give it for $15. "Thank you," I said, appreciating her kindness. I paid for the necklace and continued exploring the market, feeling happy with my purchase. As I walked, I came across a stall selling old books. Being an English literature student, I was instantly drawn to it. I began browsing through the collection, hoping to find something interesting. "Do you like reading?" the stall owner asked, noticing my interest. "Yes, I love reading," I replied. "I'm studying English literature." "That's wonderful," he said. "I have some classic novels here that you might enjoy. Take your time and look around." I spent a good amount of time at the bookstall, flipping through various books. I found an old edition of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, one of my favorite novels. It was a bit worn, but that only added to its charm. I decided to buy it and added it to my growing collection of English books. After an hour of exploring, I met up with Anna at our agreed spot. She had a big smile on her face and was holding a bag full of items. "Look what I found!" Anna exclaimed, showing me her purchases. She had bought a vintage dress, a pair of earrings, and a small painting. "This place is amazing. What did you get?" "I got this beautiful necklace and an old edition of Pride and Prejudice," I replied, showing her my items. "Nice. That necklace is lovely," Anna said. "And Pride and Prejudice is such a great book." We decided to take a break and get something to eat. There were many food stalls at the market, offering a variety of delicious options. We chose a stall that sold empanadas and ordered a few to share. While we ate, we talked about our experience at the market. "I love places like this," Anna said. "You never know what you'll find. And it's a great way to meet new people and practice English." "Exactly," I agreed. "I've already had a few conversations with the vendors, and it feels good to use English in real-life situations." After finishing our meal, we continued exploring the market for a while longer. We took our time, enjoying the atmosphere and discovering more interesting items. As the afternoon went on, we decided to head back home. On the subway ride back, we chatted about our day. "I think we should come back to this market sometime," Anna said. "There's still so much to see." "I agree," I said. "It was a lot of fun, and I feel like I've learned a lot just by talking to people and seeing all the different things here." When we got home, I took some time to read the old edition of Pride and Prejudice I had bought. It felt special to read from a book that had been around for so long. The story of Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy never failed to captivate me. In the evening, we decided to watch another English movie. This time we chose The Pursuit of Happiness. It was an inspiring film about perseverance and hope, and we both enjoyed it a lot. Watching movies in English had become one of our favorite ways to improve our language skills. Sunday was a relaxing day. I spent the morning working on my presentation about Pablo Picasso. I wanted it to be perfect, so I made sure to include all the important details about his life and work. I also practiced speaking out loud to improve my pronunciation and fluency. In the afternoon, Anna and I went for a walk in Central Park. It was a beautiful day, and the park was full of people enjoying the sunshine. We walked along the paths, talking about our goals and dreams. It felt good to share our thoughts and support each other. "I really want to become fluent in English," I said. "It's a big goal, but I know I can do it with hard work and practice." "You will, Laura," Anna replied. "You're already making great progress. And remember, I'm here to help you." "Thanks, Anna. You're a great friend," I said with a smile. We found a quiet spot in the park and sat down to relax. We watched people jogging, children playing, and couples walking hand in hand. The park was alive with activity, and it was a perfect place to reflect and unwind. On Monday, it was time to present my project about Pablo Picasso. I was nervous, but also excited to share what I had learned. Ms. Parker had arranged for each student to present in front of the class, and I was determined to do my best. When it was my turn, I took a deep breath and walked to the front of the class. "Hello, everyone," I began. "Today, I want to tell you about Pablo Picasso, a famous Spanish artist." I talked about Picasso's early life, his artistic journey, and his most famous works. I showed pictures of his paintings and explained their significance. My classmates listened attentively, and I felt more confident as I continued. "Picasso's Guernica is one of his most famous paintings," I said, showing a picture of the artwork. "It depicts the horrors of war and has become a powerful symbol of peace." When I finished my presentation, Ms. Parker and my classmates clapped. "Great job, Laura. Ms. Parker said. Your presentation was informative and well prepared. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you, Ms. Parker, I replied, feeling proud of my work. After all the presentations were done, Ms. Parker gave us some tips on how to improve our speaking skills. Remember to speak clearly and confidently, she said. Practice makes perfect, so keep working on your pronunciation and fluency. In the afternoon, we had a fun group activity. Ms. Parker divided us into small groups and gave each group a topic to discuss. My group had to talk about our favorite books and authors. It was a great opportunity to practice speaking and listening. I love reading books by Jane Austen, I said. Her stories are timeless, and her characters are so well written. I enjoy reading mystery novels, Hiroshi said. Agatha Christie is one of my favorite authors. That's interesting, Elizabeth replied. I like reading fantasy books. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series is my favorite. Our group discussion was lively and engaging. We shared our thoughts and recommendations, and it was fun to hear about different genres and authors. These activities helped us practice English in a natural and enjoyable way. After school, I went to the cafe for my shift. As usual, it was busy, but I felt more comfortable with my tasks. I chatted with customers and practiced using the new vocabulary I had learned in class. Each day, I felt more confident in my ability to communicate in English. During a break, I talked to Anna about our future plans. I was thinking about joining a book club, I said. It would be a great way to meet new people and improve my English. That's a great idea, Laura, Anna replied. I've heard there are some good book clubs in the city. I can help you find one. Thanks, Anna. I think it would be a lot of fun, I said. The next day at school, Ms. Parker introduced a new topic, idiomatic expressions. She explained that idioms are phrases that have a different meaning from their literal words. We learned expressions like piece of cake, meaning something is easy, and break the ice, meaning to start a conversation. Idioms are commonly used in everyday English, Ms. Parker said. Learning them will help you understand native speakers better and make your conversations more natural. To practice, we played a game where we had to use idioms in sentences. It was challenging, but also very enjoyable. We laughed at some of the funny phrases and tried to remember their meanings. I'll go first, I said. I was so nervous about my presentation, but it turned out to be a piece of cake. Good one, Laura, Ms. Parker said. Who wants to go next? I'll try, Hiroshi said. I was shy at first, but Anna helped me break the ice with new friends. Great job, Hiroshi, Ms. Parker said. Keep practicing, everyone. Idioms can be tricky, but they're an important part of learning English. After class, Elizabeth and I decided to go for a walk in the nearby park. It was a nice way to relax and practice speaking English. How do you feel about the idioms we learned today? I asked Elizabeth. I think they're fascinating, Elizabeth replied. They add so much color to the language. It's like learning a secret code. That's a good way to put it, I said. I'm going to try to use more idioms in my conversations. It will make speaking English more fun. As we walked, we continued talking about our classes, our interests, and our goals. It was refreshing to have someone to share these experiences with and to practice English in a friendly and supportive environment. That evening, I called my family back home to update them on my progress. It was wonderful to hear their voices and share my experiences with them. "Hello, Laura. How are you?" my mother asked. "I'm doing great, Mom," I replied. "I've been learning a lot and having some amazing experiences." "That's wonderful to hear," she said. "We miss you, but we're so proud of you." "Thanks, Mom. I miss you all too. But I'm really enjoying my time here," I said. "Keep working hard, and remember that we're always here to support you," my father added. "I will, Dad. Thanks for everything," I said. After our conversation, I felt even more motivated to continue my journey. My family's support meant the world to me, and I wanted to make them proud. The next day, I joined a book club that Anna had found for me. The club met once a week at a local library, and they discussed a different book each month. I was excited to meet new people who shared my love for reading. At the first meeting, I introduced myself to the group. "Hi, everyone. I'm Laura. I'm an English literature student, and I love reading all kinds of books." "Welcome, Laura," the group leader said. "We're glad to have you with us. This month we're reading To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Have you read it before?" "Yes, I have. It's one of my favorite books," I replied. "Great! We're looking forward to hearing your thoughts on it," she said. We spent the next hour discussing the book, its themes, and its characters. It was a lively and engaging conversation, and I enjoyed hearing different perspectives on the story. After the meeting, I felt even more inspired to continue my English learning journey. I had found a supportive community and made new friends who shared my interests. As the weeks went by, I continued to immerse myself in English. I read more books, watched more movies, and practiced speaking as much as possible. My confidence grew, and I felt more at ease with the language. One day, Ms. Parker announced that we would be having a debate in class. Each student would choose a topic and present their arguments. It was an exciting challenge, and I decided to speak about the importance of learning a second language. "Learning a second language opens up so many opportunities," I said during the debate. "It allows you to communicate with more people, understand different cultures, and gain new perspectives. It's a valuable skill in today's globalized world." My classmates and Ms. Parker were impressed with my arguments. "Well done, Laura," Ms. Parker said. "You presented your points clearly and confidently." "Thank you," I replied, feeling proud of my progress. In the evening, Anna and I decided to celebrate by cooking a traditional dish from our home country. We chose to make empanadas, a delicious pastry filled with meat and vegetables. It was a fun and rewarding experience, and the empanadas turned out great. "These taste just like home," Anna said, taking a bite. "We did a good job." "Yes, we did," I agreed. "It's nice to share a piece of our culture with each other." As we sat down to eat, we reflected on our journey so far. "We've come a long way since we first arrived here," I said. "Our English has improved, and we've made so many wonderful memories." "Yes, we have," Anna replied. "And there's still so much more to learn and experience. I'm excited about the future." "I am too," I said, smiling. Let's keep working hard and enjoying every moment of this journey. With that, we raised our glasses in a toast to new experiences and lifelong learning, I said. Cheers, Anna replied. As the evening came to an end, I felt a deep sense of gratitude for the opportunities I had been given and the friends I had made. My journey in New York was just beginning, and I was excited to see where it would take me next.